Hey, can you tell me what's on my calendar for today, please? All right, let's see what it does here. I'm just testing out my agent just to see if it can get me what's on my calendar for the day, and I'm using my voice to command the request. All right, there it is. Let's give it a listen here.
Okay, today at 12 p.m. you have complete testing of agent, which ends at 1 p.m.
So I built an agent using Telegram as the way to communicate with it, and ElevenLabs for the voice. So I can tell it what to do, ask it for information or to complete other tasks using my voice with Telegram and ElevenLabs, and then I also get the reply with a voice. If this is something that you'd like to build for yourself to help you with your daily life, keep watching and I'll show you how to build this workflow. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build another type of AI assistant, this time using your voice. Now, in the last video that I posted, I built this workflow right here, a very simple AI assistant. This one had some sub workflows working together with the parent. So you had your calendar agent that was called, executed by the parent workflow, and then we had one that was a Notion agent. And now these were called over here, and whenever a calendar task was requested, it would use the calendar, and then a Notion one also, it would use the Notion sub agent. Now for this one, we're going to be building something that's actually going to be using the same two workflows, calendar and Notion, but I've added multiple other workflows. This is the one that we're going to be building today. There's a calendar, the calendar one's right here, and then this is the Notion agent. And then as you can see, I've added email, contact, and research agent. So this one's a little bit more robust. It does more tasks. And then right here, there's two different ways to communicate it. If you're just sending a text message, it'll just follow this path right here. And if you're using a voice, it'll go this path right here and then call these sub workflows right there. So today what I'll be showing you is how to set up the templates, because I have the templates for this that you can get from my GitHub, and then I'll just quickly show you how to set up the additional workflows, the ones that weren't shown in the last video. So it'll be the email agent, the contact agent, and the research agent. It's all really simple, and I'll show you how to get up and running in no time. So let's get building. So let's start off quickly with what you will need to get this working. So in the last video, I showed you how to get a Telegram bot. We're going to be using the exact same Telegram bot as last time. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to see how I set that up. We're also going to be using the exact same Notion credentials, the same as the last video. Again, to not make this video super long, I'll put all the links in the description of what you're going to need. So that'll be the Telegram bot, the Notion credentials, Google credentials. Last time we just used the Google Calendar API. You're also going to need the Gmail API. I'll show you quickly how to enable that. ElevenLabs API key. In the video, I'm going to be showing you how to do this today. How to set up the ElevenLab nodes. I'll show you how to look for that and get that installed. n8n dataset. This is what we're going to be using just to get our contacts information, where you put in the names and the email addresses. Gemini API key, that's just for the LLM, but if you want to use your own model, you're more than welcome to do so. Just plug it into the template and you're good to go. And of course the template, I'll show you where to get that. So yeah, that's everything you will need to get this started. So let's move on getting this all set up. I'm going to be starting off with the ElevenLabs API key. I'll show you how to get that and how to plug it into n8n with a community node. So let's get started. Okay, so let's begin by showing you where the template is. I'll put in the link in the description here, the page to my GitHub. I've used my website in the past, but this one has a bunch of workflows, and it's just easier to put it here for me. But right here I have all the different workflows that I've worked in the past in my other videos. So once you're here, you're going to go to AI Voice Assistant. You're going to go to that folder. And then you'll see all these other JSON files right here. So this is the parent, this is the main one that calls all the sub workflows. And then these are all the sub workflows right there. So let's click on this one, the parent agent. Just Control A, Control C to copy the whole thing. All right, what you're gonna do next here is just paste it into a text file. Paste it right in there. And then just give it a name. No, I've done this before, but just want to do it again. Go save. Okay, now I made a test n8n account here, just because it doesn't have any of the community nodes or anything like that. Just to show you what it looks like if you're importing this for the first time. Once you're in your blank canvas right here, you're gonna click on the three dots in the top right, import from file. And then right here, this is the parent voice agent that we just created. So double click on that. Boom, there you go. Okay. All right, so now from here, you'll notice this little icon on the ElevenLabs nodes. By the way, this is on updated version of n8n. I just did the same on my my own account here. So for those of you, if you're using a self-hosted version of n8n, just make sure you do that update, because it is quite a bit different for installing community nodes. But anyways, going back to my test account here, if you double click on this, you'll see that it's looking for this right here. Don't click install from here. So at the time that I did this, I used an older community node and I'm just kind of picking it up. I couldn't install it. I already had it installed here. I'll update this on my template. But anyways, if you want to install the ElevenLabs node, just click on the plus sign right here, and then you're gonna look for ElevenLabs. So ElevenLabs right here. All right, you'll see all the actions, but you're not gonna be able to click on them. All right, so you'll see this right here, install node. So you're gonna click on that. You just want to make sure that it has that check mark. I think it doesn't allow you to install unverified ones anymore, just to make sure that you're always installing safe nodes. But anyways, it's all done here, and then you'll notice that all these actions are now clickable. Again, I'll be updating this on my template. So I'm just going to delete these, add the plus sign, and if you look for ElevenLabs now, boom, you're going to see transcribe audio or video. I'll show you how to get the credentials in a moment, but let's double click on this right here. They are pretty much the same. I think it is the exact same node. It's just you're getting it from a different source than what I'm using here, but I'll show you how to set this up. So I'll show you how to get the API. So that first node is going to be speech resource and speech to text. I think it's already there, and then data. Yep, this is pretty much the same. So leave that like that for now. All right. Now the other one. Something here. The other one that you're going to be using is called convert text to speech. Now, I'll briefly explain what's happening here. When you talk into your microphone in Telegram, like I did in the intro there, it's going to get the audio file, right, from Telegram. What this one does, it takes that audio file that you recorded with Telegram, transcribes it, transcribes the audio into text so that your AI agent can take the text and recognize what you're trying to say. Then when it goes through this node, it does the other way around. It turns the text outputted from your agent, and it then turns it into audio, into speech. And then briefly touching base what this does. This is just a code snippet. This just converts, or doesn't really convert, but it helps your agent, or particularly ElevenLabs, pronounce certain things properly. So when I was doing some testing, it was saying, I'm Canadian, so I use Celsius, but it was saying Celsius and percentages in a really weird way. So this just allows it to pronounce them properly. So that's why this is here. So it hits this first before it goes into convert to speech. You don't have to do anything there, just leave that by itself. But anyways, going over to this right here, when you open this node, this is my voice ID. Again, I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But you'll see speech to text. Let's add that here. So I'm gonna go ElevenLabs. Okay, so now we're gonna go convert text to speech. All right, speech speaks to text. I think this just stays default. Yep. Again, this will be in a template, but I'm just gonna put that in here. There, the voice ID, I'll show you how to get that in a moment. Okay, all right, so that's it right there for getting the ElevenLabs node. So you'll have to install it first. It doesn't come pre-installed, but it's very easy. And with this newer version, it makes it even easier to get that set up. So I'll just make sure to update my template. By the time I upload this video, it'll be updated, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyways, that's it for the Telegram node, or sorry, the ElevenLabs node. For Telegram bot, just watch my last video. Again, I'll put that in link in the description just to show you how to get that added in there. Let's say if I'm doing it on my own account here from scratch. If you've done this before, double click, it'll automatically populate your credentials just like that. It won't do it on my test account here because I haven't set anything up before. I literally made this just as I was making this video, just to show you how to install the ElevenLabs node. That's the only purpose why I created this, just to show you how to do that. But anyways, well, going back to my account right here, the cool thing is once you open it in one node, it'll just autofill all the other Telegram nodes, so you only need to do it on one. But okay, so that's set up. I'll show you how to create your credentials right here. Let's open this up, create new credential, and all you need is an ElevenLabs API key. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Going into ElevenLabs.io, this is where you're going to be setting up your ElevenLabs account. So let's go over to sign up. All right, so I'm going to sign up with Google, but you can use your email or password right there. Sign up with Google. This is my test account that I'm using. Continue. All right, so we're just gonna go this fancy little intro here. I have terrible eyesight, so I'm gonna go with dark mode. But pick your style there. What's your name? Okay, I'm just gonna put this here quick. Okay, once you get past that screen, you just put about how you heard about ElevenLabs. Sure, LinkedIn. Honestly, don't remember. I think it was LinkedIn actually. Now for here, you're gonna want to select agent platform. ElevenLabs now has some features for creating music, which you can check out if you like. I've tested it out a little bit. It's kind of cool, but we're going to be sticking to the agents platform for this video, so I'm going to hit that and click continue. All right, for now I'm just going to hit blank agents. All right, this is kind of new from when I created my account last. We're not going to be creating an agent here, but I'm just going to give it a name. We will be using one in the future, so just keep that in mind. Hit X there. All right, now here we are in our ElevenLabs account. Now once you're here, click on the arrow on the top left right there. Just go to this menu right here, and then you're going to want to go to voices right here. So right here is the library of all the ElevenLabs voices. There's tons of different options that you have. Some are pretty good, some sound a little too robotic. But if you go to the filters right here, just pick your language. It can speak various language. I've only tested a couple, but you can get some voices with different languages. Now, if you do decide to go with a different language, so let's say you go with, you want to go with Spanish, which is right there, and then you can choose your accent even. So it has all these different accents. I haven't fooled around with the different Spanish accents, but let's say if you go with Argentine accent, So let's say you pick this voice, right? If you send a command in English, it'll respond to you in English though, depending on what voice you picked. I think there's different ones. I don't know if it only speaks Spanish, but the ones that I picked that say they speak Spanish, you speak to it in English, it'll reply to you in English. And if you pick the Spanish voice, it'll have its Spanish accent. And then if you reply or you send your voice command in Spanish, it will reply in Spanish. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyways, I'm just going to pick English. I just wanted to bring that up for those of you who speak multiple languages. This is a feature that might be helpful for you. Let's go with English right here. Okay, accent doesn't matter. The ones that I find, if you just want like a natural sounding voice, conversational is the best one. And then there's some social media ones that sound pretty decent as well. I'm going to pick high quality and I'm going to apply filters. So right here, there's different ones here and you can test them out. So if you pick one here, I'm just going to test out this one.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I post new content.
All right, so that was that one. We can test out this one here. Sure.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. He said, get in the motor. Who do you think you are? My mother. So I says to him, don't speak to me like that, mate.
So as you can tell, some of them sound kind of robotic. Some of them are a little bit more natural. Yeah, there's tons. One that's really popular, I'll just pick for this one example, is Hope. So let's go with it. I think it was this one here.
Hey, are you looking for a fresh and engaging voice for your podcast or social media? Then I'm the voice for you.
Take your time, fool around. You can spend a lot of time just trying out different voices. Again, there's some that are pretty decent. This one's not bad. I like this one. So once you pick the one that you like, you're going to click on the three dots on the right here, copy voice ID. It's nothing secure or anything like that, so you can just put it anywhere. Just save it there. Okay, so you picked your voice. Now, a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to ElevenLabs. Unfortunately, it's not free. I do like to show free things. This one's not going to be one of those. It is free to set up an account, and there is a free tier. So you are able to test this out and try out your voice, but you're very limited. But if you're shopping around with different services, maybe you don't want to leave ElevenLabs, you want to modify the template to use a different service, just stick to the free tier, just to see how it feels. But you're very limited with the free tier. So let's go right here. So let's go to subscription. So you click your name, and click on subscription. Now these are the different plans. Now these websites are always gonna do their most popular, and they're gonna pick somewhere in the middle. But honestly, the starter one, that's what I've been using, $5 US a month. But anyways, it'll show you the different features that it has here. If we're just doing something like this, the starter plan is more than enough. It gives you 30,000 credits. They kind of accumulate if you don't use a lot of them. Yeah, that I think is pretty cool. So yeah, it kind of carries over. And as you can see there, like I've been testing, right? I've been doing a lot of testing and like barely hit 1,000 right there. I think I was on the free tier for a little bit and I kind of blew through that. So I think a lot of my testing was going through that. This is more than enough. I barely hit 10. I guess other than blowing through the free tier, but since then I've barely hit the limit. So $5 a month is more than enough that you need for doing something like this. Unless you're going full on, like you're doing this in production, then maybe you want to consider the creator one. But especially if you want to test and you have a few bucks to spare, this is a good start. And then you can just cancel at any time. They don't lock you in for a year or anything. So yeah, that's out of the way. Just wanted to get that clear about using ElevenLabs and their service. It is a paid service, but honestly, very affordable for what we're doing here. I think it's pretty powerful. And you get access to all their high quality voices when you're on a paid plan. So that's something else to consider as well. I think it's worth it. Anyways, the next thing we're going to be doing is getting our API key. So this will allow us to connect with n8n. Okay, so on the menu on the left hand side at the very bottom, you'll see developers right here. So you're going to click on that. Okay, then you're going to click on API keys, this tab right here, and you're going to create a key. You can make this more refined if you want. We're going to be using text to speech, speech to text. We're not going to be doing sound effects or audio isolation. Yeah, just for testing right now. If you just want to make a testing one, just check that for unrestricted. Just gives you access to everything. Create a key. You can create another one with more refined permissions, really depending on what the uses you're going to be doing. Click on this one right now since we're just testing, and it'll spit out a key. You want to copy that to your clipboard, which I'll be deleting this one later, so it doesn't really matter. So let's go back to our template right here. Okay. All right, and you're gonna paste in your API key right there. Now do save these, because once you go away from that, you can't see it again. So just make sure you put it somewhere safe. However you keep your credentials, click on save, and the green bar is what you want to see. Connection tested successfully. So there you go. Key right there. So again, it's very limited. I'll just leave it like that for now, since I won't be doing a whole lot of testing. Right there. Okay, save. Good. All right, good to go. All right, now that's it for ElevenLabs. Now let's test it out just to make sure that it's working. We have all the setup complete. Before we move on to the next thing, which is the data table from n8n for our contact agent, let's give this a little test with our Telegram bot, just to make sure that the API is properly connected and we hear the proper voice, which is right here. So you're going to go back to your notepad where you save your voice ID, copy that. You're just going to go to the second node right here. All right, let's change that. So by voice ID, there's going to be one built in already actually when you get the template. If you like it, you can keep using it, which is Roger. I think it was all right, yeah. But anyways, paste your ID right there for your voice. Again, these voice IDs are public. It doesn't matter if you got it from somewhere else, from ElevenLabs. But anyways, let's just save that. Okay, let's open up Telegram right here. We're gonna do a couple tests. Now I'm gonna send a text and I'm gonna send a voice. All right, I'm gonna hit execute workflow. It's gonna wait for our message here. I was doing a couple of other tests here. I just forgot to set up my model there, my Telegram settings there. This is just from a couple other tests I was doing earlier, so I'm just gonna do that one more time. I'm just gonna say, hey, how's it going? So this is gonna be for this workflow. Now that I've set it to use this bot. All right, so I'm gonna hit enter right there. Hey, how's it going? All right, looks like it set it there. All right, cool. All right, so we're applied with its audio right there. Let's give it a listen.
I'm doing well, thanks. What can I do for you?
All right, cool. So I recognize the question I was asking and replied properly. Okay, so now that we tested the text to make sure that that's working, let's test the audio. Now, I'm just going to send the exact same message. I'm not going to get it to do anything else, just because I haven't connected to sub workflows yet. Okay, so then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to execute workflows. Now it's waiting for me to say something. I'm going to use my phone this time just so I can send my message, just like I did in the intro. So I'm just going to press and hold record and let go to stop the recording. So let's do that right here. I'm just going to send it. Hey, how's it going? Okay, there's my audio. It's just going through the recording right there. Looks like it's done. Let's listen to my recording here.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, there's my message. Let's see if it picked it up properly.
I'm doing great. How can I help you today? I'm doing great.
Oh, didn't mean to hit it twice. But there we go. Okay, so it can pick up our text message and reply properly as well as our audio. So that's great. All right, now that we know that ElevenLabs is working in our setup here, let's now move on to setting up our contact agent using the n8n data tables. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just gone into our contact agent. Just going back to our workflow right here. That's this one right here as one of the tools to call as one of the sub workflows. So I'm just gonna go here. What you will see are these icons right here, or these nodes right here, I mean. So if you open up one of them right here, it'll say data table. Now what this is basically just a data set where you put in information in a table and then you tell n8n what to do with it. So in this case, I'm using it as a contacts list. It's going to get the contacts. I can ask it to update the table, delete, or create a new contact if I want. Now, why do I have this? In this setup, the way I have this set up is for our email agents. Now, going into our email agent now, this is the one that I have already set up. But right here, this is another new one that we're going to be using. All right, so let's import the templates here. So let's say I imported the agent, the email agent, and I've imported the contacts agent. So these are the ones that you're going to get from the template. So this is what it's going to look like right here. Okay, so when you go into your email agent, just open that up. Just make sure you're picking your credentials there. Okay, and then for the Gmail stuff, for the credentials, just want to double check when you're in your Google Cloud console. You have your Gmail API enabled. Just make sure you select enable. I'm in a different project here where I'm not going to be using this, but just enable this. It'll show up as manage if you already have it enabled, but just click on enable right there. But anyways, going back into your Gmail or your email contact agent, just double click one of them. Everything else will automatically fill up. Boom, you're good. So you don't have to do it one by one anymore, which is super convenient. And then for the contact agent contact agent right here, same thing. Just make sure you're setting up your credentials for your Gemini API or change the model that you want to use. Now, what we're going to do here, you can open up one of these. It doesn't use any credentials because it's part of n8n, so you don't need to set up any APIs or anything like that, which is nice. It just does it right through your same n8n account. But what you're going to do here, create a new data table. So give it a name. For testing, I'm just going to do YT demo. And I'm just going to say it from scratch. It's a very simple one. These two you can leave blank. You're just going to click on the plus sign right here. Give it a name. So I'm going to just put name, add column, plus sign, email address. I think it has to be one word. I'm just going to do it like that. Email address for the string. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put some test data here. So right here, you're going to go add a row. For name, I'm just going to put myself here. David for name. Email address, double click on that, and I'm just going to put my test account right here. I'm just going to do the Woofy Tunes. I don't know if you remember, this is an account I set up for the video agent. I'll just use that as a test. Woofy Tunes 7. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Just a name and an email address, and then That's pretty much it for that. So I'm just gonna close this. For the contact, I'm just gonna close this for now, hit save, and I'm just gonna do a refresh. Just gonna refresh the page just to make sure that it grabs it. So when you open that, you're gonna expand that, and then you should see the one that you just created right there. Double check your other ones. These are just gonna pick up the one that I have. So I'm just gonna set these to use my demo. All right, now let's open these up again. Now, these you're gonna have to fill out, so just make sure that these are filled out. I'm using name and email address. You're more than welcome to add any other properties that you want. Just make sure that you fill this field out. So I'll put some setup instructions on my GitHub as well, just so you can copy and paste this stuff. But right here you'll see from AI name. This is from the one that I already have set up. So going back into the new one that I'm setting up here, I'm gonna paste that in there. What this is, it just makes it a dynamic field, so whatever name it receives, it's just gonna use that name that it's given, right? So not anything specific. So just click on expression and then leave it like this, name, expression. So if you're ever putting in your own fields, you can paste the same thing. Just right here, you're gonna put in whatever you're given. All right, so email address, name right here, from AI email address. So if you put another thing like maybe first name and last name, just make sure you put from AI first name, from AI last name. Okay, good. Let's go to update contact. All right, now from here, you're just gonna select, just make sure that it says name in here. This should stay pretty much the same. For the settings, just scroll down, and then you're just gonna make sure you're putting in the same thing here. Expression, from AI name, and right here from AI email address. Okay, good, that's done. We did create, update. Let's do delete. This one, just expand that, select name, and then everything else should stay the same right there. Lastly, get contacts. This one's pretty simple. It's just say any condition right here. You can leave this as is, and you're pretty much set. You hit save and your contact agent is ready. So now you have a table with some test information in it, and then you have all your information from your table configured on your nodes right here. So that's all you have to do there. For sending email, going back into our email sub agent, send email can stay the same. Get emails stays the same. Mark as read. Again, it makes it really easy now that you just double click one node and it sets it for anything else. You don't need to do anything else for these. Once your credentials are plugged in for this one, you're good to go. So you just hit save on this one, and that's it. All right, so we configured our contact agent and our email agent. Now we just have to tell our parent agent to use those two sub workflows. So if you open up contact agent right here, expand the drop down. I have all these other test ones, but for the contact agent, this is the one that I'm just making. This is the one that I'm just that I've just configured. So YT contact agent right there. You set it. Good to go. Email address. Oh, sorry, email agent. Select the one that you just made. Just give it a refresh here because it's not showing up on my list. Okay, and YT email agent. There we go. So that's set. Now we got our email agent and our contact agent set up. Research agent. If you import your research agent, I'm not going to do it now, but I'll show you what it looks like. I'm just going to set up the one that I have when I was doing my research. This is the research agent right here. You can add more tools to this to do other web searches. I'm gonna do that in the future, keeping this one simple. This one just has a Wikipedia node. If you open this up, there's no parameters to put in. It just gets information from Wikipedia when you ask for it, and that's pretty much it. The only thing you have to do when you import this node is just add your credentials for Gemini or pick the model that you want to use. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. Once you set up your model, you're good. No other credentials set up, so you just hit save. So if you go back to the parent, I just told it to use that agent, we're good to go. For the Notion and calendar agent, these are the two sub workflows that I made in the last video. Go ahead and watch that to learn how I set those up, or I'll put a link in the description on how I created the Notion agent. I'll put another link in there for setting up your credentials. And I'm just gonna select those ones. Okay, so I have that set up in my list. Calendar agent, I think that's just a placeholder. Oops, that's the, there we go. Calendar agent, perfect. There we go, save. Awesome. We have all of our nodes configured, set up. All of our workflows ready and good to go. Telegram's good to go. Let's give this a final test on this workflow right here and make sure that everything's working. We'll do various tests using text and voice and to show you the capabilities of this AI assistant. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that we have everything built, let's go ahead and do a demonstration and we'll see how all of this works now that it's been put together. There are a couple things that I want to bring up before we do that though. First thing, with this new updated version of n8n, after you build these sub workflows, just make sure you're clicking on publish right here. And I'm just gonna, you don't have to put anything here. I'm just gonna put version. Maybe I'll just put the date. What day is today? At the time of recording, January 11th. But anyways, you want to publish your workflow and then you get that check mark there. So this is something a bit new. When you're building sub workflows, they're not going to work right away. You have to publish it first. So just going to do the same thing here. Add a date, just so I know. Okay, perfect. These two are good to go. And then because we had, oh no, the research agent was already there. Okay, anyways, going back into our parent, that's it. So I just wanted to show you that. But also, one more thing, I was facing a little bit of consistency issues with this node right here. Sometimes it would find the chat ID, sometimes it wouldn't. So it wouldn't know where to send the message and it was failing. So what I did here is I created a fresh new bot. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to show you how to get the chat ID. So the fix to resolve that issue that I was having with the failing node there is I just manually put in the chat ID. So you're just going to open up the trigger, execute it individually. I'm just going to say hi. It's going to spit out the ID. So I'm going to delete this bot later. That's why I don't really care about showing you that. Go all the way to the very end right here. And then I already did it, but you can just paste your ID right in there. I'll put a placeholder there in the template so you know where to put it. But anyways, that's all. Okay, so now I'm going to hit execute workflow from the very beginning here. It's going to wait for our message. Now let's start off with a text message. I'm going to start off with this request right here. Now this is a request to get my contacts, send them an email. The subject is going to be test, and then the body is just going to say this is a test. So I'm going to send this here and let's see what it does. Okay, so it's hitting the contact agent. Hopefully it hits the email agent next. There we go. All right, and now it reply. Let's see what it says here.
I've sent the email to David. Anything else I can help with?
Okay, so instead of sending the email, let me open up my inbox here, and oh, there it is. Perfect. Test. This is a test. Oh yeah, I gave mine a name, Lola, but I'll remove that from the template. But if you give it a name, it kind of signs off with a name. I didn't tell it to do that, but that's pretty cool. All right, so test number 1 done. Let's do a few more other tests to make sure that everything is all in working order. All right, let's do a different type of test now. What we're going to be using this time is we're going to be calling the research agent, the email agent one more time, and the contact agent as well. Okay, so I'm going to hit execute workflow right there. And then I'm going to send in this message right here. Do some research on the Rottweiler dog and send the summary to each of my contacts' email addresses. So what we want to see is that it hits these 3 nodes right there, and it sends to each of the contacts in the table that we just edited. So let's make sure that that works. Hit send. Okay, let's look at the contacts. It looks to be doing some research there. Okay, it replied here, so let's see what it does.
I have sent the email with the summary to your contacts.
Okay, let's take a look at my first one. So there's an email right there. Here's the information requested for the Rottweiler dog. I'll go back to the subject and everything in a minute, but yeah, looks like it, did some research there. It hit that Wikipedia node, and it sent us information about the Rottweiler. So right there, let's check out my other test account. Refresh. And there we go. Awesome. Okay, same kind of email. Now, this, I'll show you a little bit something here about the prompt. It's a little bit of prompt engineering you can probably do. Right here, I asked it to, if there's nothing in the subject, pick one, right? So if you remember from my last test, right here, I told it what to say. This one, I just let it loose. Right, you decide what to put in. So, maybe you can put something, don't make the subject line so wordy, things like that. And, that's part of prompt engineering, right? So just tweak it to however you like it. I'll leave this prompt here, just a very kind of generic prompt there. You can adjust it to however you want to use your agent. Let's keep doing some more tests. This time I'm going to send it my voice, see if that continues to work. All right, so let's do one more test here. This time I'm going to try to use the Notion and the calendar agent. And for this test, I'm going to use my voice. So I'll send a voice command and see if you can pick it up. So I have this script right here in a notepad. Okay, so it's just a script that I'm going to read off of. And then it's basically just asking it to create a page on my Notion database. And then I'm just giving it a title, a category, and then a date. So this is the database that I'm using. There's the title, category, and date. So one thing to keep in mind, just super quick here, in your Notion workflow, this is the exact same as the last video, by the way. In the Notion workflow, just make sure if you're going to be using an existing database, just make sure that the properties match. So right here, I have the title, category, and date. So you just want to add the property and just make sure you're setting it like this. You can copy and paste it. The next one is from AI and then date. So this is going to be set like this in the template, but feel free to change it, make it work for your database. But anyways, I'm just gonna close it now. This is it right here, so it's completely empty. I just deleted everything that was in there. So let's ask it to do create a Notion database, and then I'm going to ask it to add it to this calendar right here, my test calendar. All right, so execute workflow. I'm going to open up Telegram here and my phone. I'm just going to use that for the mic. There's my script I'm going to read off of. All right, let's see how it picks up my voice. Can you create a new page to my Notion database? The title should be Complete Testing of Agent. The category should be YouTube, and the date should be set for January 12th, 2026. Once that is complete, please add it to my calendar. All right, so I sent it there to the command. All right, and it took that path as we saw where it takes the audio file. And all right, so right now it's hitting the calendar first. I'm going to the Notion database now. And it looks like it created it. Let's just take a quick look. Oh yeah, looks like it created that. All right, complete. Let's see what he says here.
I can do that, but what time and for how long?
Okay, not bad. I don't mind that response actually, because it's just making sure that I'm providing the right information. I was setting this up for another workflow, and I have it set for, if no time is specified, just set it for 12 p.m. So that's something you can do in your main prompt. I'm gonna leave it like that because I actually like it that it's asking me for the time and how long I need it for. That's just my preference, but modify the prompt, do your own prompt engineering. Let me use the voice again. So let's execute this one more time, and then I'm gonna reply. Set the time for 12 p.m. just 1 hour, please. Okay, it's taking my voice one more time. And then this time, because it already created that database, it should only be hitting the calendar agent. So it looks like that's what it's doing right here. Good, that's done. All right, let's see what it says here.
Okay, I've scheduled complete testing of agent for January 12th, 2026 at 12 p.m. for 1 hour.
Okay, so I did that. Let's go to my calendar. Refresh. Oh, you know what? I changed the calendar. Okay, looks like I set it to my personal calendar, and as you can see, I have various tests over here. Well, okay, yeah, this is the calendar I set it to. I just didn't set it back to the test one, which is fine. But yeah, there it is. Complete testing set for 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 1 hour, January 12th. Awesome. So there we go. You have an AI assistant that you can communicate with via Telegram. You can send it text messages or voice, and you can have it set up with different sub workflows with different specialized tasks such as email, calendar, Notion, and a research agent. For my future videos, I'm going to be building off of this workflow. So I'm going to add some more features, different workflows, making it better, just helping you create an AI assistant that helps you with your day-to-day life or tasks, and maybe you can make your own sub workflows and help it work with you in a better way. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to communicate with your agent in a different way. So this one is using Telegram. We're going to be sticking with ElevenLabs for the voice, but we're going to be creating an agent within ElevenLabs. So I'm going to be modifying this workflow. I'm going to show you how to communicate with that, do some tests, just to give you different methods. Maybe you prefer the Telegram method, maybe you prefer another method. But I'm going to be testing that in the meantime. For now, have fun building this one. If you get stuck or have any questions, again, please feel free to send a comment below, and I'll try my best to respond as quick as possible and give you some pointers in there. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you find some good use. Thank you for watching this video. Happy automating, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.